The early seasons of The Fairly OddParents have a lot of really great episodes. Transparence, A Partnership, Father Time, A Mile in My Shoes, CosmoCon. But one that's almost universally revered as one of the very best is Season 2, Episode 6, The Boy Who Would Be Queen. Hi, I'm Ghost, your host with the most. Today let's talk about The Fairly OddParents' Genderbend episode. As you can probably guess from that description, the episode itself is actually a fairly stock concept. What makes it interesting, however, is how the show manages to execute it. The episode opens in the schoolyard, where Trixie and Veronica seem to be conspiring about something. But as girls might as well be speaking another language to 10-year-old boys, it is unclear exactly what is going on. Timmy is the most oblivious, absorbed into an episode of a soap opera called Kissy Kissy Goo Goo. He seems embarrassed to be seen watching it by his friends. Conveniently coming up to distract them is the fact that Trixie is handing out invites for her birthday. And for them, it looks like just another year, another party missed. Except, Timmy has a plan. He walks up to her, and though she doesn't understand much of what he's saying because 10-year-old boys might as well be speaking a foreign language to girls, she ends up giving him an invitation in exchange for the promise of a great gift. Timmy has no idea what to get her. He wants to impress her, naturally, but being a 10-year-old boy, he has no idea what girls like. Cosmo is unhelpful, and the two of them start laughing over how ridiculous a concept it would be if he wished he was a girl to think like one. What a waste of a wish that would be, to wish he was a girl. Hilarious. Wanda gets fed up with this and poofs him into a girl. Timmy freaks out. Wanda is smug about it. Technically, he did say, I wish and girl in the same sentence. So she did her job. I love early season Wanda so much. In episodes like these where she's antagonized a bit more than the season's norm, they let her bite back, and I adore it. Cosmo and Timmy are in the wrong for laughing, so she delivers swift and sweet vengeance. Timmy's annoyed, but he finds out he can think like a girl, whatever that means, so he can use this new superpower to get Trixie the best gift ever. Cosmo and Wanda find this whole situation hilarious and instantly return to their united front as a couple to make fun of their god kid. Timmy leaves for the mall, and before he does, decides to get his own vengeance. Because they have to grant him whatever he wishes for, he uses that little clause to genderbend Cosmo and Wanda as well, so they'll, quote, have something funny to laugh at while he's out. Man, they did Wanda dirty on the genderbend here. I feel bad for her. Did she get to pick this? They seem to be holding their wands like live grenades, so did some cosmic force choose what they look like because it was Timmy's wish and not shapeshifting? Whatever it is, ouch, that design pains me. Cosmo looks great though. You go, girl man. Timmy sets out for the mall looking to think like a girl, before instantly getting distracted by the comic store because he's Timmy. He loves comics. He still loves comics despite the brain change, so he sets off, much to the confusion of Chester and AJ, who are trying to enjoy a soda and are now terrified. Timmy gets into a tug-of-war over a comic with another kid in the store and discovers Trixie Tang. Trixie instantly shuts him, well, technically her, up. If she's seen here and it gets out that she's into stereotypically boy stuff, her friends will think that she's weird. Trixie's whole character is set specifically around her popularity and social status, so she's genuinely nervous on what this could do to her reputation. Timmy introduces herself as Tamantha, and they declare themselves best friends. Trixie and him decide to meet up and hit the mall together. They head over to the beauty salon, which Timmy finds himself actually really enjoying. They're even playing Kissy Kissy Goo Goo. Trixie laments that she wishes she could meet a boy who was confident enough to admit to liking that kind of thing. That's the kind of person she really wants a relationship with. Timmy says that he bets that boy would never come in this kind of place, and Trixie says that he should. If more boys did more girl stuff, then more girls could do more boy stuff. That line surprised me when I was watching this episode, because it's a simple and childish explanation that does really well to explain the core of the ideas the episode is presenting. Trixie, the most popular girl anywhere, likes some stereotypically boy stuff. But she likes girly things too. Timmy, the least popular kid anywhere, can watch a soap opera and love comic books at the same time. And they can bond over that. Trixie's character is given a new breadth of dimension that she never had before because the show isn't putting her on her pedestal right now. Because in this moment, her and Timmy are equals. Anyone from any walk of life can like anything. But there's a pressure present that being this way is somehow wrong, which they're basically pointing out is incredibly stupid. Fun isn't gendered. They go to the arcade to prove it. Trixie even makes the trip out of her boy disguise. This promptly destroys Chester's life because he barricades him and AJ in the bathroom in a sheer panic as his 10-year-old world comes crashing down around him. Ah, reliable 10-year-old boys. One can assume the two of them are stuck there for the rest of Timmy and Trixie's arcade adventure because it cuts to them parting ways outside the mall. Trixie thanks Samantha for giving her what she really wanted for her birthday. A friend who liked her for every part of her. She invites Samantha to her birthday, throwing in that if she was a boy, Trixie would totally date her. This whole show had this crush on Trixie from Timmy. This episode only exists because he wanted to go to her party. And the closest he's ever really come to her is when they're finally on the same level. Because they're just girls hanging out, there's no social front for her to hold up. This shows that, honestly, they'd make really good friends if Trixie wasn't the most popular girl in school and Timmy didn't talk to his stationery like it could hear him all the time. The social pressures are gone, so they just get to have a nice day out. Of course, this is all presented in a very silly way. It's the Fairly Oddparents. But the emotional core of it, after seeing Trixie as this fickle, egotistical popular girl for the whole show, is really fun and fresh to me. Later that night, Timmy arrives at the party. He wishes to be a boy again to enact his plan, and promptly ditches poor Genderbend Cosmo and Wanda to run to the mansion. Trixie is back on her throne of popularity, quite literally. But we see a moment of vulnerability as she checks with her bodyguard if Samantha came. She's visibly upset that she didn't show up. Timmy comes in instead. He declares that he likes both comics and soap operas, and Trixie thinks that's super sweet. But the party is aghast. All eyes are on her, the most popular girl in school, looking at this little nerd being really weird. She's supposed to think that sort of thing is wrong. So she cracks under the pressure of social expectation and kicks him out of her house. But in the process, she remembers his name, proving that his words did have an impact on her. As Timmy said, he was catapulted out of the party with love. He thanks Wanda for turning him into a girl and tells her never to do that again. Deal. Timmy promptly reverses the genderbend wish he put on Cosmo and Wanda, and with a free evening returns to the salon. He has a very nice time with all the women there, and they're all watching Kissy Kissy Goo Goo together. Timmy suggests that they put on wrestling, and everyone is in. The episode fades out on the salon enjoying a good wrestling match together. This episode was really fun. It took some of the well-established tropes and dynamics and mixed them up into something I found to be a nice surprise. I was honestly delighted to see something beyond just the usual stereotype jokes, having it take itself into new territory. Of course, it still uses some aspects of those jokes. Cosmo and Wanda are the literal victims of that, being used for a few very easy gags when they do the cutaways. But they're only really around for the setup and the payoff, because this episode chooses to put the focus on Timmy and Trixie, which I appreciate, because too much of that could have easily gotten overwhelming. The Fairly Oddparents' style of comedy is very exaggerated. Take a concept to its farthest possible point, absurdism, all that kind of thing. And I think for the purposes of this episode, it blends really well, because they're presenting a more nuanced concept than normal, and it only makes the situation they're in feel more ridiculous when you realize Timmy and Trixie are treating it more seriously than the show normally would. But the world is still the same level of absurdist. 10-year-old boys board themselves into bathrooms at the sight of a girl in an arcade. Girls and boys need special machines to decipher the speech of the other gender. AJ has several dead frogs in his pockets. You know, the normal stuff. So when they tackle something in a more subdued way, it stands out. And for an 11-minute segment of children's television, it does a great job. I particularly appreciate the fact that not everything goes perfectly in the end. It's a great narrative choice, in my opinion. Obviously, they needed to retain the status quo in some way, but it's not just that. It tells the audience that one day doesn't always make a big change. Trixie didn't suddenly overcome the social pressure she was under and run away with Timmy at the end. But it did make an impact on her. The world doesn't change that quickly. But she remembered his name. What's your favorite Fairly Oddparents episode? Let me know in the comments below. Mine is actually Transparents, but it's a lot harder to get a narrative out of that one. I had this written up before I made my last video, and since that one got such great reception, I thought I'd follow it up. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. For now, thanks for watching, and good night.